for rain and thank him when it's falling, 'cause it brings a grain and a little bit of money. We put it back in the plate. I guess that's why they call it God's country. I saw the light in a sunrise, sitting back in a 40 on the muddy riverside, getting baptized in holy water and shine with the dogs running. Saved by the sound of a pin-found Dixie whistle in the wind that'll get you heaven bound. The devil went down to Georgia, but he didn't stick around. This is God's country. We turn the dirt and work until the week's done. We take a break and break bread on Sunday, then do it all again, 'cause we're proud to be from God's country. I saw the light in a sunrise, sitting back in a 40 on the muddy riverside, getting baptized in holy water and shine with the dogs running. Saved by the sound of a pin-found Dixie whistle in the wind that'll get you heaven bound. The devil went down to Georgia, but he didn't stick around. This is God's.
Good afternoon. There we go. We're going to ask everybody to go ahead and take a seat or squish in here. There we go. Well, welcome, everybody. I'm Jolene Schalper, and I'm with the Great Falls Development Alliance, your team here on the ground helping businesses start, grow, and thrive. And, hey, there we go. And it's not just a good day in Great Falls. Today is a great day in Great Falls, and we couldn't be more excited. So today we welcome a new family to our community, a family that shares our values, that believes in giving neighbors opportunities to be their best and achieve the American dream, a family guided in faith that started with 2 and multiplied by 1,000 more, and more people stand beside them every single day to achieve what many say is impossible, but they get it done. At Janicki, they don't just think outside the box, they've removed the box, and they've unleashed incredible potential of people. Today's the next step in our very long journey together. We have a long history of making things here in Great Falls that change the world, much like Janicki. And with Janicki, our future in Great Falls, Montana is more incredible than we could have ever imagined. But you don't want to hear from me, and it is with heartfelt gratitude and sincere appreciation that I get to welcome my friend John Janicki to the stage today.
Thank you, Jolene. What a beautiful day in Montana. It's just absolutely incredible. I'd like to take this opportunity to pray. We can bow our heads. Heavenly Father, let us give thanks this day as we come together to celebrate the start of construction and building on this site here at Great Falls, Montana. We ask for your protection to the many people that will labor here and for their safety, and that the people around them make good decisions. While we invest, build, hire, and expand to provide for our customer and our nation, our ultimate goal is to build your kingdom and do your will. May the Holy Spirit, with the communion of saints, guide us in all we do. We ask that you bless Janicki Industries and the people in the community of Great Falls. We ask this in your name, Jesus Christ, our Lord. Amen. So I wanted to welcome the governor here and the first lady, Susan. And I wanted to thank all of the people that put this on. There was dirt here. There was not even dirt here just not too long ago. And we have a parking area, and we have the tents and everything. Just wanted to thank everybody for this, for all the work. I want to give special thanks to our team, Ben and Christy, that helped with all this design. You can see on the side there. Danny and Max with LP Architecture. With Spencer and his team. I just got to give a little joke here with Spencer. So if you look out here, this is flat. I mean, this is really flat. Okay, look at this is a groundbreaking. We don't need hecklers. Okay. So it's a flat site, but I want to give you a little perspective. So you got this excavator here, which is just for show. Then you got a little mini excavator. You can see the first mini excavator with a right? Can you see the one way out in the distance? That's the other corner of the building. The first building's the first excavator, and the second, there's all four corners are marked with excavators. So go out there and take a look. We are riding back with the with the little side by sides. And Ben noticed that we started, and then we drove and drove and drove and drove and drove. We're still in the building. Okay, so we have a lot of opportunity, and most of it is for the warfighter, and so we need to get this stuff done. Okay, I wanted to thank our team. Wanted to thank Dan Fisher, Brian, and Red to organize all this stuff and bring the excavators. I appreciate that. I want to bring our team. Aaron, Brian, who brought this thing that we're going to unveil here pretty quickly, Lillian, Kip, and Ben, and of course Nick Lavaca. If you were in there last night, what was said was we shouldn't give Nick any Red Bull before he goes up on stage. So I also wanted to thank our customers that are here. All the customers are here. I don't want to give them by name because that'd be competitive. I don't want to do that. But I wanted to thank them for supporting us. So many people over the years have come to Montana looking for gold. And that's exactly what we did. We were looking for gold. And what we found was with the people in Great Falls. They're proud of their community. They work hard. They've been through adversity. That's exactly the kind of people that we want and the community that we want to be part of. My friend Jack McNamara and his wife Allison, when we were hunting up in the hills many years ago, I said someday we're going to have to expand. And where's a good place? And he goes, "Oh, John, you should check out Great Falls." And we did check out some other areas, wonderful communities within Montana and Idaho. Any one of them could have met our needs, but I think this is the best place for us. Just a couple quick words for the site plan, because I'm an architect and that's what I have to talk about. So I've talked about in the past when we've had conversations, I've talked about our business plan, and Peter and I's business plan is very, very simple. We, first of all, Peter likes to build things, and he just needs a company so we can build stuff. But we like to take care of our customer, and we like to take care of our employees. And if you do that, you'll have a successful business. And one of the ways to take care of customers in a big industrial, site is you don't want to have to walk, three-quarters of a mile to your car at 20 below zero or 110 degrees. So you'll see in the site plan that we've radiated the buildings because there's more parking space than building space. And we have big wide aisles and everything because people drive trucks around here, and we want to have no problem to get in the space. And so people are as close as possible to the parking and everything else. And then the other stuff is all logistical things. We have the buildings being designed right now. We're going to break ground next week. We're going as fast as we can. The contractor actually wants to know what he's building. Okay, that's asking a lot. Okay, we'll get to that later. Okay, the finance people want to know what the budget is. We'll get to that later too. Okay, so anyway, we'll just get on to that. One of the last things before I turn it over and introduce my brother Peter is we in Cedar Woolley, which is a much smaller town than Great Falls, we try to buy local as much as possible within the county, within the area, whatever. In the last 3 years, we put $400 million into the county buying goods and services. So that's restaurant stuff, that's hotels, that's hardware, anything that you could, plywood, anything that you need. And we will do the same thing in Great Falls. We will start local and then go out from there. We're looking at and we're going to go out. We'll go out from there. And there's things that we're going to need we don't even know about 5 years from now. So people will start businesses that will support us that we don't even know we need. So when people have ideas, we're going to have lots of community interaction. We're going to be hopefully working with the bases, what they need, and so we're just going to be all working together to make a better place and to build this thing out. So I'm not going to take a lot of time. We're kind of hot out there, and I'm going to turn this over to Peter. So real quick, I'm the older brother. Are we going to do that now? Oh, well, since I'm up here and Peter's not here yet. We thought it'd be appropriate to have a gift for Great Falls. So this is our gift. And we have a plaque here, which I can't read. Can you hold this up? My stuff will blow off here. So it says, dedicated to the city of Great Falls with gratitude for our friendship, partnership, and belief in the future, presented by Janicki, July 10th, 2026. Oh, hey, Corey, can you come up and get this, please? Oh, we need to do a photo op. Sorry for the glasses. Okay, thank you. We were going to do a real buffalo, but we didn't have a fence. Okay, so my brother Peter is the younger brother. Okay, just so you know, I'm the elder. Peter and I have a great relationship because we both have really good ideas and really dumb ideas. And we support both ideas, but we really support the good ideas. So anyway, welcome my brother Peter, founder of the company.
Thank you for having me here. I just can't get over the excavators. I'm sorry. You know, it's a great day when there's two big excavators sitting out there. And a lot of you don't know me and John, but we didn't start in aerospace. We started in logging. Our dad owned a logging company, and from the time we were little kids, we were driving dump trucks and bulldozers and cutting down trees, and it was great. I even went to college, got a degree in civil engineering so I could come back and build roads up in the mountains. And then one day, John and I were working, and we cut down the last tree, and I looked at John, and I was like, okay, damn, what do we do now? And John looks at me, he's like, I think you should start an aerospace company. John was super supportive from the very beginning, as were my parents. It was kind of a crazy idea. And at first, it was just me. And then I hired my first employee, and I thought, oh my God, how am I going to make payroll? And then I hired another employee and another, and the business started to take off. And a couple years later, John joined me, which was great because John and I are actually quite different. Okay, I mean, we see the world the same way, but John focuses on things that I don't focus on. And there's a lot of stuff that I just ignore. And I never think about buildings and facilities and getting money. Somehow he always seemed to be able to come up with money and build all these amazing buildings. And then I got to go inside of them and do what I do, which was great. And the business grew for 25 years, sustained at about 14% a year. And people said to us, well, you just can't do that forever. And then we started growing at 20% a year, and then 30% a year, and then 40% a year. If you just measure the amount of stuff that we make every day, we've tripled the size of the company in the last 3 years. And, I get all these people that come to me, they're like, what's the magic? And I'm like, I'm not that smart. I don't know. I don't know what it is. But there's a few things that are really important to us, and we've just maintained those things forever. The first one is treat your customers the way you would want to be treated. Come hell or high water, okay? At the end of the day, your customers are everything. And there are so many times we've sat in a room and we just said, I don't care. We are going to do this. We're going to make it right. I don't care what it costs. And we make our customers whole. And that permeates throughout the entire organization. Every employee knows it. Every manager knows it. We treat our customers right. But there's no reason not to take that also internally within the company and treat each other right. And it's really interesting. I remember being in grade school and there was like one kid in the class that it just was difficult. And I remember being in college and there was one person that was just not that nice. And so I assumed that anytime you got 30 or 40 people together, there would be one bad apple. What I didn't realize was within my own company, we could find these people and we could try to convince them to be nicer. They didn't want to be nicer, then we could find another place for them. And eventually you have an organization where everybody believes in everybody. Everybody trusts everybody. It's like a basketball game where you don't necessarily have an all-star player, but every player plays well together. When you create that kind of environment, magical things happen. And I don't really do much. I just kind of come there and I just watch, and all this magic is happening around me. One of my customers was trying to make a carbon fiber part, and they just couldn't make this part because it was so difficult to lay up. You have to take this, carbon fiber comes flat. And then the thing you're making is like super curved. And when you start laying the carbon in there, it wants to wrinkle. After we make the part, we put it in this machine called an NDI machine, and we measure to see if there's any wrinkles. If there's one wrinkle, the part's no good. You sit in a room and you say, how long have you been at Janicki Industries? And it's interesting just to watch people go around the room. I've been here for 30 years. I've been here for 25 years. I've been here for 20 years. And both men and women that work in the touch labor, these are the people that actually physically touch the part. They're like magicians. They touch the part and it just like, those people are the magic of the organization. And that's what drives profitability. That's what makes it a great place. So when we came and started looking for a new place to build a factory, we wanted to find a place where we could find those kind of people. And we can train people to lay up carbon fiber, to machine titanium, to put together the most complicated aerostructures on the planet. But we have not yet figured out how to make good people. That's mom's job. That's dad's job. The teachers, the community. We don't know how to do that. But when I came here and I started meeting all of you, I was like, oh my God, this is like the Mecca. This is amazing. There is so much talent here. So as you can see, we are going to build an immense facility here. And it is going to take an immense army to run it. And I'm hoping, my ask is that all of you will come and join us, or at least some of you will come and join us, and we will take people from here and we will ship them back to Cedar-Woolley. And we will train them on how to design aircraft structure, on how to do finite element analysis, on artificial intelligence, on carbon, on assemblies, lasers. And they will become the technology leaders of the world. And then we will bring them back here. And we will bring people from Cedar-Woolley and we will put them here. And together, we will create this amazing facility. But the building, the equipment, all of that stuff doesn't really matter. What matters is this amazing workforce. They asked me, as the company grows, how are you going to keep the culture that you have today? And I'm like, well, first of all, I'm not going anywhere. I'm 62 years old. I figure I'll be here about another 30 years. Michael's sitting right there. It's one of my boys. Stanley's right there. Joe, where are you at? A new baby. Okay, so we're another generation down. It's one of John's boys. And I have a great executive team. I think Janicki Industries is going to be very solid for a very long time culturally. And somehow we have to keep the magic that exists in this community today, because the culture that you guys have here is world class. I want to talk just for a minute about the kinds of things that we're going to build in this factory and how we're going to do them, okay? Airplanes are fundamentally built with three major components. We have the inside of the airplane that typically is all made out of aluminum and titanium. And this very first facility here is going to be the absolute state-of-the-art machining facility on the planet. Most of the operators will never touch the floor. There will be robots that are picking up the material, setting the material down, putting it into the building, flipping the parts over, and we already have an artificial intelligence lab set up in Bellingham where we're prototyping out all of the navigational systems. It's really going to be awesome, okay? Shortly thereafter, we'll build a detailed carbon fiber composites facility where we're making the carbon fiber parts on every scale. And then finally, we'll have another building where we put all this stuff together. So if you think of anything that goes up in the sky, from a satellite, okay, to a rocket for Blue Origin or SpaceX, or any kind of military or even civilian aircraft, okay, some major component or all of it is going to get built at this facility. Like John said earlier, I expect that on any given day, there'll be somewhere between 50 and 100 people from our customers here in Great Falls. So there'll be SpaceX engineers here. There'll be engineers from General Atomics, from Northrop, from Lockheed, from Boeing. And these are really, really, really smart people, okay? And they'll be commingling with all of our people. And this will become the epicenter for aerostructures that will be really the envy of the world. It's super exciting. I couldn't do it without you guys, and I just want to say, really, thank you so much for welcoming us into your community. I really appreciate it. Thank you.
I think you were all speechless, but can we reflect for a moment on this will be the epicenter for aerospace in the world? It's my pleasure to bring up Congressman Troy Downing to say a couple words to welcome.
Well, thank you for giving me a moment to speak to you. And first of all, to the Janickis, thank you for believing in Montana. Thank you for investing in Montana. Thank you for coming here. This is that trust is important and not lost on us. So thank you very much. Really appreciate that. One of the things that's exciting to me about this, there's the obvious. There's the jobs. Obviously, that's going to be important to the local community, to Great Falls, to Cascade County, to Montana. There's the tax base. There's all this other stuff. But one of the things, that I am constantly trying to grapple with in Congress is the fact that we keep exporting manufacturing. And the fact that we have manufacturing here in Montana, domestic manufacturing, that's going to be so meaningful to our defense, to our aerospace industries, for all the things that you just mentioned in your speech, is incredibly powerful. In terms of long-term prosperity and security in these great United States of America, we need to do more of that. And the fact that you're taking such a big, making such a big investment in not just keeping that domestic, but keeping it here in the greatest state that's ever blessed God's creation. No offense to, but I just want to say I'm very grateful. I know that, the community here is grateful. The state is grateful for that. And we look for great things to come. And, we will do everything we can in Congress to continue to make this country friendly for business, friendly for manufacturing, making sure that we can do everything we can in the tax code and the regulatory environment to really encourage onshoring of industry, onshoring of business. And I'll just tell you one last thing, because I'm going to be brief here. Coming to Montana, that has become, under Governor Gianforte's leadership, so pro-business, I think was the right decision. I think you're going to love this decision that you made. I'm sure it wasn't made lightly, but having a pro-business, welcoming community in a pro-business, pro-growth state, I think is going to be good for all of us. And I want to thank you and congratulate you on this next step in doing something great here in Montana. So thank you very much.
And rounding it out, here in Montana, we are so fortunate to have an incredible Chief Business Development Officer in our great Governor Greg Gianforte. He's played an incredible role through this process, often calling me to tell me that he made his weekly call to John. Said, this was on my mind. I thought John should know, so I called and told him, which was fantastic to have you on the team. Not many governors do that. So please help me in welcoming our closer, Governor Greg Gianforte.
Well, what a great day. And John and Peter and the whole Janicki team, welcome to Montana. You're very welcome. How exciting is this? Peter, I'm inspired by your words and just your vision. And we look forward to making it easy for you to operate here. This whole journey started about 3 years ago when the Montana Department of Commerce got a tip that Janicki might be looking. And they wanted to expand outside of another state that's just west of here. And thanks to our business attraction team, who did a great job, it wasn't long until I had the pleasure of having John and his lovely wife to our home in Helena for dinner. And I want to thanks to the great work here in the city of Great Falls, it wasn't long before you sealed the deal. And John told me it was in large part because this industrial park was here. It was shovel ready and they could get going. And there was not a lengthy permit period involved. So to John and Peter, let me just say welcome again. We're thrilled to have you. This $800 million initial investment is a big deal. And you're going to unlock a brighter future for over 2,000 Montanans through a good paying job, inspiring innovation, strengthening the local and national economy, supporting the growing community of Great Falls for years and years to come. and to Jolene of the Great Falls Development Alliance and the Cascade County Commissioners. Thank you for your hard work and partnership to make today a reality. I've said this many times, Montana is open for business. And we're proud of the work that we can do with our local partners to attract job creators like Janicki that choose to expand from high tax, high regulation states to our sanctuary for freedom and free enterprise that is Montana. Here in the Treasure State, we really have an unmatched quality of life. Susan and I experienced it as we were growing our business. The people were our competitive weapon. They would, as we say, on the farm, when the tractor's broke and it's harvest time, you don't form a committee, you don't call a consultant, you just fix the tractor. And it's these qualities that attract companies like Janicki to create good paying jobs right here in Montana. It really impacted me when I was out in rural Montana. If I had a group of 100 people and I asked, how many of you have kids and grandkids that don't live here anymore? In these small towns, if I had 100 people, 100 hands went up. And Montana's economy was not living up to the potential we have. And it's investments like this going to allow us to keep our families together, keep our kids. And it means as a grandpa, I can go to a T-ball game or have them around the dinner table on Sunday. That's what this means, keeping families together. So I look forward to seeing the impact of these investments for years to come. And I look forward to being back for the grand opening. Thank you so much, John and Peter.
All right, that was pretty good, but I think the best is yet to come. Getting you guys on the excavators for a real groundbreaking. Let's break that ground. We invite you to join us on this side, but not too close to the buckets.